Hi everyone, thank you for being with me today. I'm just going to talk a little bit about Lachlan Murdoch and Murdoch Press and Crikey, which is an independent newspaper here in Australia, and how the Murdoch Press have decided they didn't like a stand that Crikey took in writing an article stating that Murdoch and their press, particularly Fox News, has influenced and impacted the way Americans view their news, and I would suggest how the Sky News presents the news here in Australia as well, and their contribution, in fact, towards the January 6th resurrection, whatever it is, that thing that they did on January 6th. So Lachlan Murdoch is suing Crikey's publisher, private media journalist Bernard Keane, and Crikey's editor-in-chief Peter Fray. Private Media CEO Will Hayward has released the following statement. I'm just going to read part of this statement. Now, the reason why I'm doing this is that it's important that we make a stand against the Murdoch Press, because they are influencers of evil. And that here I am, I've got my own YouTube channel. I have 56 subscribers. Bugger all, who cares? No one gives a shit. But nevertheless, I need to make my statement in relation to this. I can guarantee you that Murdoch's not necessarily going to challenge me or do what they can to make sure that I am silenced, but they will do what they can to make an independent media network that does a lot of good work in terms of confronting social change and making sure that we are all aware of an alternate view of the world that is not presented by mainstream media. And Crikey's very good at that, and I suggest that anybody who is interested in these sorts of issues, go on to the Crikey website and subscribe. I've actually, on my page, which you'll be able to find hopefully here, we'll be able to, from my website, you'll be able to find the article that we're referring to here as well. So have a look. You can also read this article that I'm reading from on my page, and I've also got the link to the original article as well. So Private Media has filed its defence to the defamation claim made by Lachlan Murdoch against the company and its journalists. Since the beginning, our intention has been to bring the use of defamation law by the rich and powerful into the light. So we wanted to explain the key points of our legal defence and what we are going to do from here. Now, I'm going to suggest that if you are watching this video, that you do go to my page, have a look, subscribe and donate to Crikey so that they can find such people as Murdoch. It seems sad to me that that there aren't enough people saying what needs to be said against Murdoch Press, and why Murdoch Press would go after a small independent organisation like Crikey, I'll never know. Why don't they go after organisations such as MSNBC and CNN, who say some pretty nasty things also, I think, against Murdoch Press, particularly against people like Sean Hannity and Tucker Carlson, because they're the people that are spreading erroneous views of the world, and particularly views of right-wing fascist-type groups such as Donald Trump and his horde of protagonists. So have a look at their site. Simply, I just need to say here that in this Crikey article that they simply deny that we have defamed Lachlan Murdoch, and so they should. The relevant words in our article are the Murdochs and their slew of poisonous Fox News commentators, and who cannot disagree with that, and are the indicted co-conspirators of this continuing crisis. The court will decide what our readers would have taken them to mean. We do not believe that the average Australian of reasonable intelligence, test of this part of the defamation law, would have read our article and interpreted it in the way Mr. Murdoch claims. I think the point here is that most of us in Australia, where, and I guess you can access Crikey, it's on the internet, for Christ's sake, you can access it anywhere in the world, but here in Australia, Crikey is relatively important. I think the independent source. So most of us here would probably agree with them that the Murdoch Press has too much power, too much authority worldwide, and they're too influential, and they sit so far to the right. There's one thing you can guarantee about Murdoch Press is that they're not independent, and people like Lachlan Murdoch and Rupert Murdoch need to be held to account for propagating views which brings around such things as the insurrection. So good on Crikey for challenging all of this. It is fair that someone might disagree with the opinion we expressed, and that's fair enough. You can disagree with my opinions, and that's fair enough as well. But we think it is reasonable the argument to make, and the right to express such an opinion is absolutely critical to the function of an open modern democracy. So we all need to disagree. On occasions, we agree on others, but when we disagree, we can put forward those disagreements. But let's do it in a civilised and peaceful way, and not suggest that we take up arms, or that there's going to be violence in the streets as a result of a group of people that disagree with us. That's just bloody crazy. We stand firmly against censorship, and so they should, especially in matters of significant public interest. As such, our case will test this new public interest defence, specifically as it relates to opinion writing as opposed to investigative reporting. So, and they need to hold to this as well. I mean, if people like Tucker Carlson and Hannity and others, and some of those people here in Australia, Andrew Bolt would be one, who have an opinion, express it. I don't think Crikey's saying that they shouldn't express their opinion. They're just simply saying that they shouldn't be. That there's nothing about their opinion which was defamatory. It was just an opinion, and we're all entitled to make our opinions, and we're all entitled to have them accepted, or denied, or rejected, or argued against. That's fine. Let's all do that, but let's not take us to court because we're a powerful organisation and they want to silence us. That's just absolutely crazy. But that's what Murdoch Press is about. Murdoch Press is about expressing their view, and they believe that their views of the world, the way they've constructed it, their own sort of power and authoritarianism, and to some extent some stark degrees of fascism, are really where we should be as a society. So, and those people that want to push back from it, such as Crikey, myself and others, and particularly the left-wing media, need to have our voices heard as well, and not be pushed out or denied that opportunity, such as is the case, which is what Murdoch's trying to do to Crikey. Taking on this fight is risky, and we are not foolish enough to predict its outcome. However, we believe that there is an issue of fundamental public importance at stake, and that is why we are defending the case brought against our company and our journalists, and so they should. And I think the point is that they're doing this for the rest of us, not just for their own benefit, because they have been sued by Murdoch, but because it's important in terms of a free press, that people have an opportunity to be able to say what they want to say, when they want to say it, providing that it's not a direct and malicious attack made against somebody else and is spouting untruths. I think there's a line that needs to be drawn in the sand here. I don't think Crikey has stepped over that line by any stretch of the imagination, and we need to do what we can to support them. So I just want to say, please go to my site. You can see it here. It's quite simple, tonytonkin.com.au. Have a look at the website, this video. If you watch this on YouTube, this video will probably also be there when I put it up. And also, can I just ask you to subscribe and ring the bell so that for any further notifications, you will be notified. So thanks for being with me, everybody. Take care, look after yourselves, and more importantly, be safe.